Now we turn our attention to the other honorees we salute tonight, whose achievements reflect a range of professional accomplishments and activities that show dedication to hard work and excellence and service to our community. They inspire us and motivate us to do more in our own lives. Please welcome to the stage my good friend, Reverend Raphael Warnock, Eduardo Martinez, C. David Moody, Dr. Mark Becker, and my favorite and my only mayor, Kasim Reed. Gentlemen, please take your seats on the stage as we all watch this video tribute and learn a few things you may not have known already about the highly noted men of empowerment and distinction we value and salute tonight. Please check out the video.
Urban League of Greater Atlanta Men of Empowerment and Distinction.
Today, we acknowledge these men of empowerment and distinction, highlighting the success of their work in the community. Embracing the spirit of our community, the Reverend Raphael Warnock has served since 2005 as senior pastor of the historic Ebenezer Baptist Church, spiritual home of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Reverend Warnock is highly regarded internationally as an influential voice on the complex moral issues of our time.
A few weeks ago, we had an expungement project here at Ebenezer Church, right here in this sanctuary one Saturday. Literally dozens of people lined up and sat here in the sanctuary, and everybody in the sanctuary had an arrest record. We pulled together Fulton County, the Sheriff's Department, the District Attorney, Solicitor General, and they all agreed to streamline a process that usually takes about 120 days or more to 1 day. They walked in with a record and they walked out without a record. We were surprised and, well, really disappointed to see that our nation had found a way for Iraqi citizens who now lived in Michigan to vote in Iraq. But we would not find a way so that citizens of New Orleans who are living in states all across the country could somehow vote by absentee. So we've been very involved in voting rights. We've also been very involved with addressing the problems and inequities in our criminal justice system, the issues of poverty. In 2012, we built the Martin Luther King Senior Community Resources Complex, which warehouses several nonprofit organizations, and every day of the week, we are here at Ebenezer helping people, engaging people as they improve their own lives by providing them financial literacy, workforce development and training, and working with young people every single day of the week.
Eduardo Martinez joined UPS in 1976 and rose through ranks to lead the UPS Foundation with a mission to ensure diversity and inclusion. Being true to its mission, the UPS Foundation has supported the Urban League for several decades.
As president of the UPS Foundation, I have the honor of working with my colleagues at UPS in communities around the world. UPSers volunteer in their communities every day. Last year alone, they volunteered 2.3 million hours of service in their community across a wide range of needs. The Urban League specifically addresses the local needs in their community. And throughout our history, throughout our partnership, we consider our partnership with the Urban League as the model partnership, from leadership engagement to the front line. You know, we continue to have challenges in our communities, here in Atlanta, here in our country, and around the world. But together, working together, we know that we can forge a better tomorrow. And I encourage all of us here tonight and all of us around the country to continue supporting leaders like Nancy Johnson, leaders like Mark Morial, and organizations like the Urban League, because they will help us move our society and indeed our communities forward.
As we continue to construct and build not only legacy, but infrastructure and landmarks that inspire the local community and the world for more than 20 years, our very own C. David Moody has played a distinct role in developing this region, despite his personal success against the odds.
What have I done personally to empower our community? I've really tried hard to set an example that we can achieve anything, regardless of what we've been through in life. I try and set an example of excellence, a good attitude, a smile, and just help others, and we give back a lot. But the real thing that I'm working on now is helping childhood sexual abuse survivors. Myself, I'm one. I didn't speak up publicly until my late 50s. I've written a book, I have a blog. My real push is to help those that suffer from childhood sexual abuse have a safe place to go get resources, get counseling, and the most important thing is to know they're not alone and know they can still achieve some incredible things. Help deal with mental health, such as panic attacks, post-traumatic stress syndrome, where a lot of people are afraid to speak up, and help people know it's okay to get counseling to help you get through a trauma. And just continue to give back and just be a good example for those that suffer in silence and give a hope to those that are hopeless.
Education is the cornerstone of empowerment, and with the help of Dr. Mark P. Becker, as president of Georgia State University since 2009, we have all witnessed his passion for our students represented in the recent growth and expansion of the university.
One of the ways that this has manifested itself is we've literally graduated thousands and thousands more students than we would have been graduating just 5 years ago if we hadn't made the innovative changes that we've made to change the difference in the way students are supported so that all students succeed. We want to get to the day where every single student that gets admitted to Georgia State University graduates with his or her degree. That is the goal, that's where we want to be, and that's what we work on each and every day. We're so proud and honored to have that privilege. What motivates me to do what I do here as the president of Georgia State University is my own upbringing. I was raised by two parents, neither of whom had had the opportunity to go to college. They preached, if you will, to my brothers and I the importance of an education. This is the way I give back. I really dedicated my life to higher education, seeing that other students have the same opportunities I had.
Political leadership is one of the most important ingredients of a successful community, and the Honorable Mayor Kasim Reed is that leader. We honor his accomplishments, experience, and insight for the future of our great city.
My future plans are really to do more. We're going to have a referendum for the largest expansion of MARTA in the city of Atlanta's history, a $2.6 billion expansion of MARTA. We have a $6 billion capital program at Hartsfield-Jackson Airport. We've negotiated a 20-year lease that I'm proud to say will keep the headquarters for Delta Airlines right here at home, and will keep Hartsfield-Jackson Airport as the busiest passenger airport in the world for 18 years in a row. Just this week, we inked an agreement with the Atlanta Hawks where we will retrofit Phillips Arena. You're going to see underground transformed with about $300 to $350 million in investment. And many folks in the audience know that we've done a deal with Georgia State University in Carter to attract about $350 million to the old Turner Field complex. So that's 70 acres that's going to absolutely come alive in a way that it hasn't before. And so that seems to me to be plenty to work on in addition to running the city every day. And my goal is to make sure that the city of Atlanta is a place that guarantees all of our residents an equal opportunity so they are free to determine what their outcome is. My hope is that the city of Atlanta continues to be a place where you can bring and build your dreams.
The Urban League of Greater Atlanta salutes Mayor Kasim Reed and the City of Atlanta for bringing employment and economic opportunity to our community. And we'd like to give special acknowledgement to the Mayor and the City Council for their support of the Urban League's youth empowerment programs.
The Urban League of Greater Atlanta would like to take this opportunity to honor these men of empowerment and distinction.
Eduardo Martinez. As a corporate representative, I realize the difficulty of the work that he has to do, the internal advocacy that he has to do to make the impact that he has. He certainly personifies the kind of global citizen that we hope the next generation will emulate. He is a long-term supporter of community organizations through his work at UPS Foundation, which has invested millions of dollars in the Urban League movement over decades and a very engaged relationship, do you know how difficult it is to get millions of dollars from your corporations? In fact, the National Urban League, under the leadership of Whitney M. Young, was the catalyst for hiring the first African-American UPS driver. Thank you. And if you're a lovely single female like me, you love your UPS drivers. Sorry, I had to throw that out there. Not excluding Eduardo Martinez, of course. And I shout out to his wife, who's lovely. Mr. Martinez personifies hard work and determination and is socially conscious in his personal life as well. It is my distinct pleasure to present this award to an untiring and kind humanitarian, Eduardo Martinez.
Thank you, Tiffany, for that very gracious introduction. And thank all of you for coming here tonight. Good evening, everyone. And I am truly humbled to receive this honor, which has been presented to many champions of equal opportunity in our community and indeed our nation, including my distinguished fellow honorees tonight. This is particularly special to me because my relationship, UPS's relationship with the Urban League, is a very personal one, a generational partnership that spans 55 years. Thank you. Working together, helping, advocating the underserved, the marginalized, bringing hope and opportunity to all members of our community. I'm an immigrant. In fact, I came to this great country as a refugee with my parents as we fled a communist Cuba over 50 years ago. So that I know along that journey, along that way, I can thank the Urban League for the opportunities that I have seen in my life. And I will always be grateful for that. We are at a flashpoint in time. Our community, our nation, face many important questions in the days ahead. But tonight, we will be inspired to do more because we all must stand up with Nancy Johnson and the Urban League and be accounted for like those champions that came before us to lead the way for others. I am a firm believer that any level of success that I have achieved, I owe to my faith, my family, my wife, and best friend of over 40 years, Ileana, who's here with me tonight. And most importantly, I share this award. I could not be here before you without my UPS family, who are also here and who help millions of people around the world each year through the global work of the UPS Foundation. Please recognize them. They are incredible people, please. And they are also committed to a world where opportunity isn't dictated by race, ethnicity, religion, sexual orientation, or economic status. As our president talks about the essential promise of America, he says, no matter who you are, what you look like, where you come from, you can make it. In fact, where you start should not determine where you end up. A heartfelt thank you for this evening. Thank you so much for this honor.
But when I thought about tonight's dinner, this is what I thought about you all and why I'm so excited. There was a woman who I met at a train station. And so I was campaigning for somebody else, and she walked up to me and she was visibly upset. And she said, "My daughter has diabetes, and the clinic where I used to take my daughter has been closed. And so now I have to go across the town to get to a hospital to provide the service I need for my daughter." And she said, "I've had trouble getting employment." And she said, because the clinic that we used to be able to walk to is closed, it now costs me about $15 to $16 to get to the doctor's office. And you know, we all are very blessed individuals, so I'm listening and I'm trying to have a real conversation with her. And I said, "But ma'am, the health care that your daughter is now receiving at that hospital, Pastor, is far greater than the health care she would have received at the clinic, and you're getting a substantial discount. So the trip ought to be worth it." Let me tell you why the Urban League is so important. She looked me in my face and said, "That sounds real good, Mayor, but what happens when you don't have the discount? What happens when you don't have the $15? Who is the folks? Who helps then?" What the Urban League does is they get down where folks are, and they help you when you don't have the discount. So the brother who talked about the fact that he's 10 months out, did you look in his eyes and see his face and see the dignity that he had standing up here tonight? That's why the Urban League is so important. They want to help people that don't even have a discount. And I'm here to tell you, the city of Atlanta, while I'm here and even after I'm here, is going to be right by your side. Because what we are compelled to do when we are doing our best work is to grab people where they are and to accept them as they are and to improve them, to provide the blessings that we all experience every single day. Folks don't want special treatment or special privileges. Folks just want an equal shot. Nobody's in here asking for a guarantee of an equal outcome. And so here's what we're going to do at the city of Atlanta. What we're going to do in Atlanta is we're going to do more than we have ever done. If you look at tonight, the city of Atlanta runs through these stories. David Moody's contract at Underground Atlanta. The center that Dr. Warnock is building right on the campus of Ebenezer. What he didn't even talk about tonight was the Hope Center for Financial Literacy. Eduardo didn't talk about tonight the $400 million complex the UPS is building at the end of ML King with 1,250 jobs, where people will have a fair shot and a fair shake. What President Becker didn't talk about tonight was the fact that Georgia State is reclaiming a part of Atlanta that was made promises for decades and decades and decades, and because of him, they're going to get a fair shot and a fair shake. Y'all, Urban League's doing great work tonight. Get your checkbooks out, write a bigger check, let's do more, because more is needed. So in Atlanta, we're going to ban the box. In Atlanta, every employee already makes $10.10 an hour. I'm raising it to $13.15 an hour. In Atlanta, every woman who works in the city of Atlanta makes as much as a man makes. Because if you want to help society, you need to make sure that women get paid equal pay for equal work, because that's how you improve the lives of boys, children, and little girls. You want to improve the economy, give women $1 on a dollar instead of 77 cents on the dollar. On Tuesday, we passed the biggest expansion of MARTA in 40 years. 40 years. That might seem like not a big deal to us, but to somebody that's trying to get from Clayton County to Buckhead,
It's not going to have to take 4 or 5 buses, but also going to be able to take 1 bus to the transit station, on the train to their job. It means everything, you all. So you all have given me what I call a Barnabas moment tonight. Sometime you come someplace and it's just a stop on your schedule, and you get there, and the most amazing things happen to your heart and to your mind. So I'm grateful for what you have given me tonight. And what I want you all to remember as you go forth, and after we listen to After 7, and I can't wait till they sing Ready or Not. I want everybody in this room to think about what the 35th President of the United States of America once said. When you see these stories, when you see the stories of these young men, we all need to look in the mirror and remember that our president once said, things don't happen, things are made to happen. Let's make them happen. God bless you.